Welcome to part 2. In the first part of our journey, we explored one of the most profound ideas in nature. Consciousness reuses successful forms throughout the universe. Long before life appeared on planet Earth, reptilian, avian, feline, mantis, and cetacean civilizations were already thriving across the cosmos. When life emerged here, it followed those same universal blueprints, leaving us surrounded by living echoes of ancient galactic lineages. Now we turn to the two civilizations that have captured humanity's imagination more than any others: the mysterious Mantis Beings and the enigmatic Reptilians. Joining us once again is Sha'il, a hybrid Lyran being who has been helping us explore the hidden history of humanity and our connection to the stars. Sha'il, I'll be honest. When I first heard people describe giant humanoid beings that look exactly like praying mantises, I thought they had to be imagining things. Yet the stories keep repeating. Who are these mantis beings?
The beings you call mantis healers trace their origins to the region around the star Spica. Long before mammals walked anywhere, the insect body blueprint had already proven itself a masterpiece. Lightweight exoskeleton, many jointed limbs, compound eyes that drink in vast streams of light. When consciousness looked for a form that could bring surgical precision into the higher bands of reality, it chose a refined version of that design. Imagine a figure towering 7, 8, sometimes even 9 feet tall, emerald carapace gleaming, arms ending in long, blade-slender fingers made of living crystal. That shape is perfect for stillness and focus. The moment a mantis steps into a room, every stray emotion seems to hush. They hold a field so neutral that a human's panic dissolves simply by resonance. What first feels terrifying, the size, the alien angles, quickly becomes serene, almost temple-like. Their visits are most common in the liminal states, a patient under anesthesia, an experiencer drifting between sleep and wake. In that thin altitude, the mantis can reach your light body without jarring the physical tissues. The flashing emerald blades witnesses describe are coherent light filaments, tuning frequencies rather than cutting flesh. Their resemblance to Earth's praying mantis is more than coincidence. Your backyard mantis is the only insect with true stereo vision, giving it an extraordinary ability to judge distance and perceive depth. It can also strike its prey with astonishing speed and precision. Those same qualities appear in the mantis beings, but expressed in a very different way. Their heightened perception allows them to perceive depth within energetic space, while their extraordinary precision is applied not to hunting, but to healing. Making energetic adjustments so subtle and swift, they are often experienced only as a gentle shift in awareness. And the earthly mantis's signature stillness is the faintest echo of what these star beings have cultivated for millennia, a consciousness refined through deep meditation and absolute inner stillness. There is a link beyond shared shape, but it is subtle. When the mantises first visited Earth, they did not seed life itself. They left behind microscopic crystalline spores, seeds of their own biocrystal structures. A tiny fraction of those spores found their way into early mantid insects. Over eons, most of that cosmic material was diluted, yet a faint resonance still lingers. Some of your scientists have explored a similar idea through a hypothesis called directed panspermia, the possibility that an advanced civilization could intentionally seed another world with the building blocks of life. It doesn't make your praying mantis an alien, but it grants a trace of the same frequency signature, the capacity for absolute stillness, lightning precision, and a curious tendency, observed by some entomologists, to tilt the head as if exploring a field other insects can't sense. So the next time someone recalls an emerald giant bending over them with absolute calm, remember, not every visitor comes to save or invade. Some arrive simply to heal, wielding the elegance of an insect that has turned perfect stillness into an art.
Can you clarify where these mantis beings actually live and what link they have to humanity?
The Mantis healers keep their homeworlds in a star cluster near Spica, but the place they return to most often is not a planet at all. It's a vast organic station floating in interstellar space. Picture a cathedral grown from translucent emerald resin, miles long, pulsing with a heartbeat hum. There they store luminous seed pods, sleeping chambers where each healer cocoon rests for decades, gathering the stillness they will later carry into their work. From that sanctuary, they travel in needle-shaped craft that ripple between dimensions rather than cross them in straight lines. A mission might begin light years away and end beside a hospital bed on Earth the same moment. They simply phase through the folds. Their link to humanity began tens of thousands of years ago when early hominins fractured their energy bodies experimenting with fear-based rites. The mantises intervened, repairing those first wounds and imprinting corrective patterns into our collective blueprint. Ever since, they monitor the species in quiet cycles. When a critical mass of people drifts into energetic chaos, warfields, surgical theaters, deep trauma, the mantises appear, tuning the grid one patient at a time. They don't seek worship or alliance. They regard humans as younger cousins who will one day master the same precision. Every time they mend an aura, they leave behind a faint echo in the genetic field, a subtle invitation for our own healers and engineers to discover new levels of focus. That is their relationship to us, silent mentors of stillness, arriving only when the circuitry sparks, then folding back into the dark between stars.
Shail, this might sound like a silly question, but I'm curious. Do mantis beings actually wear clothes?
Not silly at all. The short answer is no. They don't dress the way humans do. Their outer shell is already a living armor and sensory organ in one. What we'd call clothing is for them a temporary overlay of light, geometric veils or color fields they project around their upper body when ceremony calls for formality or when they need to dampen their own brightness so a human won't be overwhelmed. Imagine a subtle shawl of iridescent mist that flickers into view, then dissolves once the task is done. So, no fabric seams or robes, just a tailored aura, worn and removed as naturally as a breath.
Here are two Easter eggs the universe seems to have tucked inside Earth's own mantises. Small clues that echo their star kin. Praying mantises are the only insects proven to see true depth. Each eye sends two slightly different images to the brain, giving precise depth perception, just the sort of spatial accuracy the cosmic mantises use when they realign the human light body. A mantis can hold absolute still for hours, then strike prey in about 70 milliseconds, faster than a human blink. That blend of deep stillness and sudden pinpoint action mirrors the mantis healer's rhythm. Long stretches of cocoon-like calm punctuated by split-second energetic surgery. For our final chapter, we turn to the most talked-about shape of all, stories of scaled rulers whispered in temple shadows, serpent gods etched on weather-worn stone, and modern sightings of slit-pupiled eyes flashing in underground corridors. Shail, accounts of these beings swing between two extremes. Some describe them as benevolent protectors, others as controlling overlords. Who are the reptilians really, and how can one lineage be viewed as both ally and adversary?
Reptilian civilizations are not a single empire, but a sprawling family tree. Imagine three primary branches: the custodians, ancient lineages from the Draco constellation who see themselves as gardeners of young worlds. At their best, they maintain ecological balance and guard portal sites. Their presence feels stern yet orderly, more like vigilant rangers than rulers. The regents, expansionist clans that broke from the custodians long ago. They mastered bioengineering and power hierarchies, founding star kingdoms where loyalty is enforced through genetic imprinting. When humans speak of controlling overlords in underground bases, they're usually sensing a regent faction probing for advantage. The Seekers, smaller nomadic groups who left both camps, choosing a path of knowledge and inner refinement. They travel in living bioships, study consciousness frontiers, and sometimes mentor human mystics in dream space. Their scales carry iridescent hues instead of the matte blacks and greens of their cousins. Why do these branches appear as both ally and adversary? It comes down to core values. Custodians prize order and will cooperate if human actions support planetary stability. Regents prize control and view emerging species as resources unless a stronger ally balances the table. Seekers prize evolution and approach only when an individual or culture resonates with their quest. When a witness encounters a reptilian in meditation and feels calm authority, they likely touched a custodian or seeker presence. When someone reports intimidation or manipulation, they've crossed paths with a regent's scout testing boundaries. All share a common genetic root: tall, upright saurian bodies, slit-pupilled eyes, dermal scales that double as sensory arrays. But their motives diverged over millions of years of separate history. Think of humanity's own spectrum: healers, diplomats, conquerors, wanderers. One lineage, many choices. So the reptilian face you meet mirrors the frequency you stand in and the agenda of the branch you attract. Ally or adversary, the answer lives in both them and you.
Let's focus on the regent factions for a moment. I usually like to keep things positive, but we've all heard the darker stories. Reptilian beings said to have steered human affairs since the Sumerian era, and even now rumored to work with elites to keep us under control. Shail, what can you tell us about that side of the reptilian narrative?
The regent factions arrived on Earth long before modern Homo sapiens appeared. In that era, the planet still echoed with the tail-end chorus of giant reptiles. The regents claimed the warm valleys and built subterranean chambers where geothermal veins met crystal seams. From their view, this world was theirs by occupancy and resonance. Then came the Anunnaki intervention, skyborn engineers reshaping early hominins. At first, the regents watched from the deep, curious. But when certain Anunnaki houses began treating the new humans as potential partners rather than expendable labor, envy hardened into strategy. The regents believed they alone should stand between sky gods and surface creatures. They chose influence over open war. By whispering through priest kings, they could bend civilizations without risking their own extinction. In Sumer, they offered oracular symbols of serpents and sat coiled behind thrones. Later, in Egypt and Mesoamerica, they hid beneath the iconography of divine crocodiles and feathered serpents. Each age gave them new masks: secret societies, cabals of hidden financiers, always the same goal: steer humanity toward hierarchies they could quietly occupy at the top. Are they still allied with fragments of today's elite? Some factions, yes. They barter technological insight, geology, genetics, electromagnetics, in exchange for discretion and passage through certain underground zones. Yet even among regents, there is disagreement. A younger wave questions the old strategy, sensing that a species forced to kneel will never rise high enough to make a worthwhile ally. Understand, the regents are not cartoon villains stroking secret plans. They are an ancient culture clinging to the conviction that Earth was once theirs and should bend to their order again. That conviction births both their brilliance and their blindness. The jealousy you feel in their legend is real. It originates in the moment they saw Anunnaki mentors offering a handshake to humans, an invitation that bypassed the regents entirely. So yes, they were here first. Yes, some still weave influence through corridors of power, but their hold depends on secrecy and fear. The more humans stand in transparent sovereignty, the less room there is for any hidden throne, scaled or otherwise.
How did the reptilians end up retreating into the shadows, living underground and avoiding the surface world?
At first, the reptilians lived openly on the surface. Bronze-scaled cities perched along warm estuaries, their architecture half buried in lush fern forests. But two forces pushed them into the deep. The first was environmental. When the great flood and cooling that ended Atlantis swept over the land, vast reptilian settlements near the coasts were shattered. Salt water and volcanic ash poisoned hunting grounds, and the harsher sunlight, after the dust settled, irritated their scale-sensitive skin. Retreating into the fault-warmed caverns offered stable temperature, clean geothermal water, and protection from the sky. The second force was cultural. As humans multiplied and the Anunnaki backed away, the reptilians discovered that open contact bred panic and resistance. Their tall, predatory silhouettes triggered an instinctive fear response in surface tribes. Rather than wage constant skirmishes, they chose a quieter path: influence from below. In the hush of underground halls, they could pursue alchemy, genetics, and long strategy without torches marching to their gates. Over millennia, below became tradition. Generations were born who had never felt direct sunlight. They carved resonant chambers that amplify thought and built lift shafts opening only in forgotten gorges or deep ocean trenches. By the time modern history began, their theology equated darkness with safety and control. The surface was an unpredictable stage, best manipulated from beneath. So they did not simply hide. They adapted, first for survival, then for strategy, and finally by choice. The shadows became home, and from that vantage they could touch the surface world only when the timing or the leverage favored them.
Shail, this next question dips into territory some would call conspiratorial, but I've heard it too often to ignore. There are numerous accounts from people who claim to have witnessed reptilian beings working with powerful human groups, elites, secret societies, governments, and even figures within the entertainment industry. How did this alleged collaboration begin? And why would these reptilian factions want influence or control over humanity? There are also accounts describing secret societies performing rituals alongside or in connection with reptilian beings. What truth, if any, is behind those stories?
The collaboration between certain reptilian factions and ruling humans began in late Sumerian times. When priest kings sought forms of power their emerging kingdoms could not yet produce on their own. These reptilian groups offered knowledge, metallurgy, mineral extraction, resonance, astronomy, methods of organizing large populations, and techniques for preserving authority across generations. But understand something. This was never an agreement between all reptilians and humanity. You are speaking of particular factions, just as the actions of one human empire cannot describe the human species. The arrangement was transactional. Knowledge and access were exchanged for secrecy, resources, protected territory, and influence within the human world. Certain rulers learned that controlling a population did not require controlling every individual. Control the information they receive, the authorities they trust, the dangers they fear, and the rewards they pursue, and people begin policing the boundaries themselves. Through succeeding civilizations, the arrangement changed its clothing. Fragments of this knowledge moved through restricted priesthoods and mystery schools, later into royal courts, private orders, secret societies, financial institutions, intelligence structures, and other closed networks of power. And why would certain factions want influence over humanity? Because control gives them continuity. These factions value stability, hierarchy, territory, and the preservation of their civilization according to their preferred order. Where humans often seek power to expand their personal experiences, these beings seek it to secure the future they want for their lineage. Humanity presents both an opportunity and a challenge. You are extraordinarily creative, emotional, imaginative, and therefore unpredictable. Influence allows them to reduce that unpredictability by shaping what populations fear, desire, believe, and ultimately create. But control is strongest when it remains unconscious. Sovereignty begins when you reclaim your attention. Question what repeatedly asks for your fear. Notice who benefits from your division. Choose deliberately what you feed with your consciousness. The knowledge was never inherently theirs. They simply learned how to use your creative power before humanity remembered it possessed it. You also asked about the accounts of rituals. But the more important question is, why has ritual accompanied power for so long? Because ritual concentrates consciousness. A symbol focuses the mind. Repetition strengthens association. Emotion supplies intensity. Intention supplies direction. When many participants hold the same intention together, that effect can become stronger still. Those principles are neither reptilian nor human, and they are not inherently dark. A person praying beside a candle, a healer preparing sacred space, monks chanting together, or you quietly creating a ritual of intention are all using variations of the same principle. Take scattered consciousness and give it direction. Certain initiatory groups understood this very well. Where ritual was designed around domination, fear, superiority, or power over others, those same principles were simply directed toward those purposes. You have recreated many of the mechanics of ritual on a societal scale. This is why the old influence is now more visible in systems than individuals. You search for a reptilian behind the politician, banker, or celebrity, but sometimes fascination with finding the hidden creature prevents you from seeing the machinery operating openly before you.
Okay, Sha'il, let's go a little deeper down the conspiracy rabbit hole. Is it true that certain reptilian factions feed on human energy, especially lower frequency emotions like fear or anger?
Energy is the currency of consciousness. Every emotion you feel radiates into the subtle plasma that surrounds your body, what some call the auric field. High-frequency states like gratitude or joy create coherent spiral waves that reinforce life. Dense emotions such as fear, rage, or despair generate jagged, dissonant patterns that quickly disperse heat, but leave behind a low-band static. Most reptilian lineages simply coexist with this spectrum, but a portion of the regent factions learned long ago to absorb those low-band waves. Their physiology, part biological, part crystalline, can metabolize the static as a nutrient. It is not blood they drink. It is the charge released when large groups of humans are kept in prolonged anxiety or conflict. Think of it as drawing power from a turbulent sea rather than calm water. How do they harvest it? Primarily through resonance. They anchor devices, sometimes crystalline rods, sometimes geometric chambers, at sites where collective emotion is already high. Certain places of worship, battlefields, even media networks that broadcast fear. The dissonant waves funnel toward those anchors, and the regents convert the charge into bioelectric vitality or technological fuel. No wires are needed. Emotion itself is the conduit. They focus on low-frequency feelings because jagged waves break apart easily and release free ions, easy calories but nutritionally empty in a spiritual sense. That is why these factions encourage division, panic, and hopelessness. The more fragmented the human field, the more excess charge they can skim. But the system has a flaw. When humans choose heart coherence, steady breathing, gratitude, genuine community, the field smooths into spirals the regents cannot digest. The food evaporates. Protection, then, is not a shield of fear. It is the decision to hold your frequency in calm clarity, especially when provoked. So yes, some reptilians harvest human emotion, but only the frequencies we willingly or unconsciously generate. The remedy is neither anger nor retreat. It is conscious self-governance of feeling, turning your inner current from choppy water into a clear, living stream. When enough of you do that, the old feeding strategy collapses under its own hunger.
In our very first conversation, you explained why some people see a human face glitch into reptilian features for a moment. Could you walk us through that shape-shifting mechanism again? How exactly do reptilians alter their appearance, and why can only certain observers catch the change?
Start with something you already know: your body, this chair, even the stones under your feet are made of atoms. And atoms are mostly empty space. What feels solid is really a mesh of tiny electrical forces your nerves translate into touch. Your eyes do a similar trick with light. They catch waves bouncing off objects, and your brain turns those waves into color and shape. Reptilians who mix with humans take advantage of that translation process. Their true form is scaled, but they project a thin film of light, like a shimmering camouflage just above their skin. Think of how a cuttlefish flashes patterns to blend into coral. Only this pattern bends the light itself so it reaches your eyes, already arranged into a human face. Your brain accepts the picture because it arrives pre-painted. When the being stays calm, the light film is smooth and convincing. If strong emotion jolts them, anger, fear, sudden surprise, the pattern flickers for an instant. In that blink, a slit pupil or a scale shows through before the film stabilizes again. Most people miss the slip. The brain fills the gap and tells them they saw an ordinary face. But a witness who is unusually alert or caught in a heightened state might register the flicker and remember it as a glitch. Nothing physically stretches or shrinks. It is the light image, the moving picture your senses interpret, that wavers. Reality at that level behaves less like fixed clay and more like a hologram. Change the projection, and the form you see changes with it. Reptilians have simply learned to work the projector. So when someone says, "I saw a reptilian face for a split second," then it was human again. They likely glimpsed that light mass faltering, not a literal snout growing and shrinking.
Sha'il, assuming dragons are real and not just myth, is there any connection between dragons, dinosaurs, and the reptilian beings we've been discussing?
Imagine a single melody that keeps reappearing in different instruments. Dragons are the oldest expression, a cosmic, plasma-based intelligence that coils through nebulae and the magnetic tunnels between young stars. They are less creature than living elemental force, shaping and igniting suns. Their serpentine outline is a natural way for plasma to flow, so the universe repeats it. When life condensed into dense matter on many worlds, that same serpentine melody took on flesh. On Earth, it first appeared as the vast reptilian line that produced dinosaurs, terrestrial echoes of that stellar dragon curve. They were not conscious descendants of the cosmic dragons, but their bodies followed the same elegant physics: long spine, counterbalancing tail, efficient scale-clad musculature. Later, an off-world reptilian civilization, what you call the Reptilians, visited and settled beneath Earth's surface. They carry a direct genetic spark from the cosmic dragons and recognize the dinosaur era as a kind of ancestral memory. The reptilians see the myth of dragons as a cultural mirror of their own distant elders, so the correlation is not a straight family tree, but a repeating pattern. Plasma dragons, the original energetic archetype. Dinosaurs, Earth's first dense matter echo of that serpent dragon form. Reptilians, space-faring descendants who still hold a conscious link to the dragon essence. One melody, three instruments: plasma, prehistoric flesh, and present-day intelligence, each version reminding the next of a shape the universe never tires of playing.
And that brings us to the end of this journey. We set out to meet our galactic cousins, and along the way we rediscovered the wonders curled up right beside us. You glance at a line of ants carrying impossible weight across a sidewalk. Somewhere outside, a crow tilts its head, black eyes catching more in a moment than any of us notice all day. Far below the waves, an octopus rearranges its skin into living art, and a whale you may never meet releases a note that rolls on for hundreds of miles. Each is a sovereign facet of the same source, no lesser, no greater, only different in song and rhythm. They are not decorations in a world built for us. They are fellow travelers wearing bodies shaped by a different expression of the same universal intelligence. Shail, thank you for guiding us through these galactic lineages and showing how their echoes live in the animals sharing our world. Before we end, is there anything you'd like to leave us with?
We have traced cats, dolphins, owls, mantises, ants, and scaled guardians across the stars and back to your doorstep. I'll leave you with one question to carry forward. If consciousness can flow as a whale gliding through deep water, as a mantis folding time in stillness, as a lion-faced traveler stepping between suns, why then would humanity assume that only the human form can carry true intelligence?
So as the scroll closes, let that simple question settle. Thank you for sharing this exploration. Until next time, honor the life around you, whether it walks on 2 legs, 4, or 8. You are witnessing the same cosmic intelligence that lights the stars, alive, awake, and utterly at home in every shape it chooses. If this message activated something in you, help us spread the message. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Every interaction helps these conversations reach the people meant to find them. This isn't just content, it's a frequency, an activation of the remembrance already within you.